Happy 2025. I'm hoping everybody has 365 days of joy. And yeah, that's asking a little much, but why not shoot for it? Let's shoot for it and see what we get. Of course, we can make our own joy. All right, I am going back to this prairie painting, prairie grass, but there's some things that I'm going to kind of talk about as we go on. Okay. All right. Here in Nebraska, we have a large variety of prairie grass. But unfortunately, because of expansion and this and that, a lot of it is kind of disappearing. It's underground. The roots and all that stuff are still there, but anyway, some of the cities have expanded and taken up more room, but we still do depend on a lot of the prairie grass for feed. And anyway, the prairie here in the Americas, most of what we talk about here is like it's in the middle of the country. It's down the center of Nebraska, and it goes up all the way into Canada, and it goes down into parts of Mexico. That's just because we divided into states doesn't mean that the prairie grass divided. Now, there's different ones that will grow in different areas because of climate. But they've also discovered, and I don't think that's just prairie grasses, I think it's also corn and stuff that we grow, that also adds to the oxygenation of the air quite a bit. So as I put these, I'm using these white tops or tips on these. A lot of, if you go to Google and you Google prairie grasses, in images, it will take you to pictures of just all kinds of different names of them. They're generally they're tall. Now, there is a Homestead National Monument. I think they might have changed the name of it, but it's still the same place. But they have large areas that they dedicated to prairie grasses, and they have, like patches of one kind, patches of another, and at certain times you can go walking through there. The grasses, some of them can get, if they're not, nobody puts any animals out there to chew them or anything, some of them can get as tall as me. Up into Canada, of course, it doesn't go all the way to the top of Canada, I don't think, but now you see a lot of the prairie grasses of the United States, like here in Nebraska, up in the Dakotas, down through Oklahoma. I'm sure there's a lot down in the Flint Hills in Kansas. Those have a lot of prairie grass. Now, one of the things I read said something about where there's not a lot of trees. Well, that's true to a certain extent. But it doesn't mean that there aren't good prairie grass there. It just means that there's more room taken up by trees than in areas where there are no trees, and the prairie grasses just keep growing wild. But because, well, we lived right under the Flint Hills, and, well, I mean, we had part of the Flint Hills too, but we could go up in there, and there was a lot of cedar, a lot of cedar. And so we would, a lot of times we used to get our Christmas trees in there. I did the white on here because the the color I used for the ground cover, for the sandy looking soil, it's too much the same as a lot of these others, so, and it, I mean, I've got the long stalks of grass here, but it's really kind of hard to tell that those are prairie grass, but I want to have the seed tops. Now, I don't know if they're considered prairie grass or not, but cattails, a lot of the kind of little swampy areas, or like the edges of a pond or something, a lot of times there'll be cattails growing in there, and I don't know, now there are people who cook those things. I wouldn't know how, I wouldn't know what part, but they say that they can be used for food. Dandelions, there's hardly any part of it that's not edible. In fact, I think the whole thing is edible. I'm really liking the look of this. I'm not always all that satisfied with things, but I'm really liking the look of this one. It's rain. Sometimes we can get pretty dry here. Why? I don't know, because there's years we have really a lot of rain, and then there's years where we're just really dry. I'm going to put some little clouds up here that can gather together and possibly cause some good old rain to drop. I need to learn how to do rain. I've seen people do rain. A lot of them just, it's like a lot of white streaks and drops and stuff. And it does look, but I don't, there's a way that they can make it look pretty real. Now, we had some big pasture fires or grass fires over the last couple of years. Some of them got I don't remember ever having had that kind, those kinds of huge fires that brought these grass fires this last summer and the summer before. They did end up calling them wildfires because that's what they were. And they were responded to, the one north of us was responded to by, probably 4 or 5 different fire departments. Had their trucks and stuff out there, because you gotta hit them from all different all different angles. And well, the farmers would be out there plowing under areas to make breaks so that the fire wouldn't be, it couldn't go beyond that point, hopefully. Yes, fire can jump if the wind's up. And this is what was happening, is the wind was up really high. But, because those were not controlled burns. Those were not even set, they weren't set. They just, I don't remember what set them off. It was lightning or, that is really turning out. I like the colors, I guess. Thank you for watching me play around. I kind of think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to do a little work on that barn. I might put a metal roof on it, because some of these kinds, they did. And it might be just out there for a tractor, who knows. But I just hope you've had a good New Year Eve and day. I hope everybody's been safe. Keep this one in your memory banks, because I'll probably do a little more work to it. I love you. Plan success for this year. I think if you just head out there with the attitude, get an attitude. That's what you need, an attitude. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to develop a little bit of a tude in order to, and I don't mean a bad one, but I used to have no confidence in anything. And somebody said to me, just act, don't let people intimidate you, and just act confident. So, I don't know. Finally, I found myself in there, and I kind of like the person I am. So, this is some of that air dry clay. We gave most of it to the kids for Christmas, and I thought, I might just try these. I've got some yellow and green, and I might just try doing something with them just for fun. Make some little objects. So, see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. And smile and wave. There's people out there who need that little boost, and that might be what does it. So we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.